1 week ago, friends and relatives gathered in Glassport to remember loved ones and friends who died from the opioid epidemic that has become a national crisis in America. About 100 people gathered to light candles and share the deepening sadness over the impact that drugs have had in taking away a brother, sister, wife, husband, mother, father, or friend forever. Adjusting to such a devastating loss requires grieving, something that is often difficult to do. Highmark's Caring Place, a center for grieving children, adolescents, and their families, is helping additional victims of drug abuse, those left behind, to cope. We're joined now by Terese Vorsheck, psychologist and director of the Highmark Caring Place, and Dr. Andrea Lurier, also a psychologist and the Caring Place's program manager. Ladies, thanks for the important work you're doing, and appreciate so much you coming in and talking to us. Terese, let me ask you first, to help all of our viewers understand, what exactly is the Caring Place?
So the Highmark Caring Place, John, is a center for grieving children, adolescents, and their families. So what we provide are peer support groups for kids and their adult family members after a family member dies.
You're located in the old Horns building.
We are, right across the street.
Right across the street from KDKA, as a matter of fact, and on Stanwix and Penn Avenue, just
Correct.
so that those who don't remember Horns, like some of us oldies do. It's a very important location, and you really take in mostly young people then to help them grieve. Is that part of the process?
So at our program, kids come from infancy up to high school graduation, along with their adult family members, and that's exactly what we do. You know, when a child has a family member die, a mom or a dad, a brother or sister, their whole lives are really turned upside down.
Right.
And they need to be with others who understand, because until you've been there and you've been through it, it's very hard to understand what you're going through, especially kids and teens.
Yeah.
Their peers don't understand unless they've been through it as well.
Well, and of course, Andrea, you see all kinds of kids who have experienced just the natural death of a parent, maybe the violent death of a child through gun violence. How is the opioid experience? Has that made a huge difference? Are you seeing a lot of that at your place?
Yeah, that's a really good question. I've been with the Caring Place for nearly 20 years now. And just as you're suggesting, families come because a loved one has died for any number of reasons, for reasons that might be a long-term illness to something more sudden, maybe something very traumatic. But I think in the past couple of years, we've all been really stunned by the number of families now calling because a family member has died from a drug overdose.
How do you deal with that child? Is it different than, say, someone who dies of, a parent who dies of cancer or something?
You know, there are some things that are unique about families that are wrestling with a death due to a drug overdose. Right. And then also there are pieces of grief that are just kind of common for the kids. And so on the one hand, when we bring the children together, they find a lot of commonality. You know, they're all missing their person desperately. They're sharing memories. They're trying to understand why these things happen. And so there is a lot that the kids can share and understand about one another's experience. On the other hand, I do think that when someone dies from a drug overdose, there are I think certain questions that are weighted heavier. I think kids struggle with, you know, could this have been prevented?
Yes.
Or,
yes. Guilt. A sense of guilt that maybe I should have recognized something, I should have done something.
Yeah, could we have prevented this? Exactly. Yeah. And children will often feel a lot of, unfortunately, but they can often feel the weight and the guilt of that.
Terese, are we doing enough in this community? Do you need assistance and help to deal with the folks the families that are coming to you?
I think right now we have seen, absolutely, as Andrea referenced, an increase in the number of calls that we're getting from families who are experiencing grief because of an overdose death.
Right.
At the Caring Place currently, we're certainly able to manage the call volume and the number of families that are coming. I think that there are many in the community that are rising to the occasion for this crisis, and it certainly is a focus of many organizations in the community from all levels, treatment and to help those who are affected.
Do you use peer-to-peer counseling? Do you use young, not super young kids, but do you say teenagers who have been involved in this over the years to help other new teens who have just been brought into this situation?
It's not peer-to-peer counseling, but it is peer support.
Okay.
And so the kids are brought together with other kids who are their age who have had a family member die. And so if you come to the caring place, you might see a room full of kids who are 9 to 12 years old,
right,
together talking
and they all
about
share
their
this
they
right,
share the commonality of having had a family member die.
Now, if somebody wants to take advantage of the great services you offer, I think we've had the website up, and I assume that's the best way to get a hold of you guys?
Absolutely, is highmarkcaringplace.com is the best way to find our contact information. And actually, we have a number of resources on there for grieving families as well, including a that we just created for families who have had somebody die from the overdose.
And Andrea, if somebody experiences this in their life, what's the most away, particularly with young people?
I think the most important thing is for children to find trusted adults within their family and within their community where they feel they can share their story in a way that they can express whatever they're feeling and whatever they're thinking, and for that to be accepted and not judged by the person who's listening.
Right. Great advice, a great resource. I want to just thank you both again and all your staff for the work you do. It's wonderful to have you in Pittsburgh, and I know there are countless families out there who probably are not aware of the Highmark Caring Place and really ought to take advantage. Thank you both very much for being with us. We'll be back with more of the Sunday Business Page in just a few moments. Stick with us.